Hey guys, so welcome to today's video. This week, I think it might have even been the night before I filmed this video, I had seen a report on the local London news about the new Bazalgette Embankment. So if you don't know anything about the Thames Tideway Tunnel, there are these new embankments along the River Thames on both sides. And for years, this super sewer, the Thames Tideway Tunnel, has been constructed underneath London, and this super sewer is to aid the existing sewers. So I can't remember why I stopped. I think maybe there was like something hanging down on the side of the bike. But yeah, back to the super sewers. So the sewers for London, the embankment, which is on the north side of the river. You've got what was the old super sewer built in the Victorian times, but you know that was a really long time ago, and now there's millions more people living in London. So unfortunately, what happens is when there's heavy rain, if I am correct, and the sewers are over capacity, unfortunately, there is nowhere else for that water, which is mixed with the sewage, to go, and it was flowing into the Thames. I can't remember what the figure was about how many, you know, sometimes they do figures based on, they'll say, you know, how many double-decker buses or Wembley stadiums, but it was a lot of untreated sewage going into the Thames. So the Thamesway Tide Tunnel, the Thamesway Tunnel, it supports that capacity. So when the original sewers are overflowing, it goes into the Thamesway Tideway Tunnel and heads east, as do, I believe, a lot of the sewage from central London anyway. So what they've done is they have also built new landscaped, almost like, in a sense, almost like a land reclamation, embankments that project even a bit further out into the Thames. So the Bazalgette Embankment was at the time the newest one that had opened, and I believe, if I'm correct, I'm remembering my history correctly, so I can't remember his first name. I feel like it's John, but this was the chap that led the team that created and designed the original sewers, the first sewers, because there was this whole thing called the Big Stink in London way back, where any sort of waste was just dumped in the streets, the rivers, all the rivers, like River Fleet. Famously, the River Fleet had been culverted, covered over, and turned into a sewer. Whereas previously it was a river that was open to the air, and it still flows into the Thames. I think it flows into it underneath Blackfriars Bridge. But yeah, so we're heading to the Bazalgette Embankment, and we've just gone past Outernet London. Some of this already is a place of interest for me, and we're just about to come up to the theatre where Stranger Things, what's it called? Dark Shadows, is that it? Is playing in London, so it's only on in London and New York City in Broadway. So you know, this actually wasn't the first time that I was heading to the Bazalgette Embankment. So as I said before, I'd seen it on the news that it had opened, and I'd gone down on another ride. And as you guys, if you subscribe to my channel and you've watched quite a few of these videos, you might know that I tend to do these rides in my lunch break. And actually, that's a nice sort of segue. If you aren't subscribed, why not give me a like, subscribe and share. But yeah, I'd popped down to the Bazalgette Embankment, on the embankment, and the weather was not great at all. It was raining, it was grey, it was overcast, and you know, it just wouldn't have been great for filming in terms of having droplets all over the lens. I I kind of feel like with the GoPro Hero, even though it's the same thing that you've got droplets, you would have droplets on the lens. I think especially because of where I have it mounted on the chest plate, I think you can kind of go in with maybe a little cloth, tissue even, and just like quickly wipe it every now and again, and maybe you kind of might get away with it. What do you guys think? Do you mind that, or you prefer things just being filmed on a nice dry day when there's no obstructions, nothing distorting the image? I mean, I think I would be the same as probably some of you, that I would rather have the clear image as well, no distortions. So while we're at this junction, to our right we've got the Portrait Gallery, the National Portrait Gallery I should say. And I think it was last year that I visited with my mum, and we've got the National Gallery in front of it. I have to say the National Portrait Gallery is my favourite of the two. I think it's because it has a lot more contemporary art in it. So we're about to enter or head past Trafalgar Square, and to our left we've got St Martin in the Field, if I'm correct. And if actually you take this first left here and take you towards Charing Cross Station, we've got the National Art Gallery, and then yeah, as I said, we've got Trafalgar Square, which last year I went to Black on the Square, and I think it's called Theatre Live or West End Live. It's an event that showcases theatre productions that are in the West End and Theatreland in London. So also last year, Topshop had, I think it was their first fashion show in a long time for London Fashion Week, was hosted in Trafalgar Square. So it'll be interesting to see what events, including the ones that happen every year, as I said, the theatre showcase and Black on the Square, which events happen in Trafalgar Square. So now we're on Whitehall, and if you haven't been to London before, Whitehall, just off of Whitehall you've got Downing Street, where the Prime Minister resides, and you've got the Cenotaph, and it's also the centre of commemorations, our when we stop to think of those who've served in First, Second World War, and various other conflicts that British soldiers have served in. On the right, we're just going past changing of the guards, and if you ever visit, please do not get too close to the horses. They do actually, well, not all of them, but some of them bite. This memorial on the right is dedicated to women who served in the Second World War and First World War, and we just went past 10 Downing Street on the right. So, and the Cenotaph on the right here. So yeah, Whitehall is like the centre of government. So you have a lot of departments for the government. tourists are doing really does my head in. I find that it tends to be more the West End where it happens, so people just follow other people, and when I feel like when you go to the City of London, you don't get like that where people are just going about and without like a care. But anyway, we're on the Embankment now, and probably like one of the best segregated cycle lanes in London. It's so nice and wide, as you can see, and yeah, it goes all the way from where I just turned into it, all the way. So this basically, we're just going to follow this now all the way to the Bazalgette Embankment, and it's a really nice view looking across the river towards the South Bank, which I believe personally that the South Bank is better than the North side. I think there's just so much more to do. There's restaurants and that, but it is just a pedestrianised route all the way from, where is it? I would say, I was going to say like Battersea, but actually it goes even further to the west than that. But I think it kind of, well, once you get to, where would you say? Once you get to County Hall, near to the London Eye, it's entertainment for ages. There's so much to see, and you see so much of the skyline and many of the sights you'd like to see. Just going past Cleopatra's Needle here on the right, and you know, the Embankment actually, before it was built, the buildings, I mean not this one on the left, but the much older buildings, so when we get under Waterloo Bridge, which is the next one coming up, we will have Somerset House to our left, and Somerset House and some of the other buildings that are behind the Embankment, they actually used to go right down to the river, so the river was wider, and yeah, they had steps and gates going down to the river, so you could row a boat or sail a boat right up to these buildings and exit the boat and go straight into the building. But see, when they built the Embankment, that all stopped. But I mean, it's a really good thing because the Embankment has the sewers. It had the original super sewer. Well, I said had, it still has the original super sewer under it. It's a bit of a tongue twister. And it also has the underground, the London Underground, the tube under it as well. And I'm led to believe that the sewer, even though it was built during the Victorian times, it served London for a really long time. It was actually built over capacity, but as I mentioned earlier with the Thames Tideway Tunnel, it had, you know, with about 10 million people, there was only so far that the original Victorian sewers could go, how many of us it could serve effectively. Again, yeah, we're looking over to the South Bank. We've got the Oxo Tower and Sea Container House and two new skyscrapers. One of them actually isn't new. It's an existing building that they added, 5 to 10 floors on the top. Yeah, now as you can clearly see, I've jumped off and we're really close to the Bazalgette Embankment, and so I'm going to walk the rest of the way, and I'm actually going to stop talking soon so we can all enjoy the environment that the new Bazalgette Embankment brings us. Oh, and by the way, again, if you're still with me and you haven't already, please do give me a like, subscribe and share. And I'd really like to know what you guys think of, have you been to any of the other new embankments, and what do you think of this one? I think one of the great things is, for the first time, you can walk from this bit of the embankment under Blackfriars Bridge and connect to the other side of the pedestrianised bit of the embankment. But yeah, I really am going to be quiet now.